Hi, everybody. It's so good to be with you again today on this Hump Day devotion. It's Wednesday, and we just appreciate the opportunity of you hearing our program, watching our program. We just ask you to share it with others so that people can be touched by the same word that you are, because the Word of God is powerful and strong and sharper than a two-edged sword. It'll do a lot of work that we can't do. The last couple of weeks here in America, we've had some really great things going on. And I hope that you that are watching have taken part in what is beginning to, be a big deal here in America. Week before last, we had the National Day of Prayer. And we've been doing this about 19 or 20 years here at the church. Our church is hosting, Tex Sawyers Ministry is hosting the National Day of Prayer for our community and for our area. And we have people come in from the county and around. It's just not a church program, but we're just hosting it for the people. And we had one of the biggest crowds we've ever had, and had some of the best speakers we've ever had. You can go back and watch that on YouTube or Tex Sawyer's Facebook page. But then on Sunday, this past Sunday, we had the rededicating America to God. I thought it was a powerful, powerful thing, and I hope you'll go back and watch some of the prayers by these men. And what a privilege it is to be in a country where our leaders have dreams, and they dream of America being like it used to be, a powerful nation, one nation indivisible under God, with liberty and justice for all. And we're so thankful for these leaders, whether you're politicking or Democrat or Republican, doesn't matter. We're after the country. We're after where America goes. And so I thought it was just a wonderful, wonderful day. We had a great day in our church. We showed a video about the revival in Scotland and the cry for us to do more praying today. And so I ministered this past Sunday on prayer and how that we can all get involved. So it's been a great couple of weeks here, and we're going to see even more of that as the 4th of July comes. We're celebrating our 250th anniversary of a nation, and it's certainly the most wonderful nation in the world. I say to people all the time, I didn't travel as much as some people, but I did travel quite a bit over a period of 40 years, going in and out of countries, and I saw a whole lot of what I don't want. And there's times that I would come home from being on a trip 2 or 3 weeks at a time, and I just want to get down and kiss the ground. I was so glad to be back in America because it's such a wonderful place. I want to speak to you a little bit today as a takeoff and away from that, because our forefathers 250 years ago had a dream. They had a dream to build a nation free of tyranny, free of the rule of the government, and everybody be free. I go back to something very familiar with so many of us, is Martin Luther King, back in the 1960s especially, and some years there. He had a dream, and you and I both have dreams. I had dreams when I was a kid. I'd dream about this and dream about that, and I'd dream about having a nice car, or I'd dream about having certain clothes, or I'd dream about going different places. And we all have dreams in our lives. And so here in the book of Proverbs, I just want to read this to you today. We're not going to get through it, but we can do what we can. But in the book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verses 3 and 4, it says in the King James Version, "Through wisdom is a house builded, and by understanding it is established. And by knowledge shall all the chambers be filled with all precious and pleasant riches." But let me read it to you in the Living Bible. I love this. This is one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible. "Any enterprise is built by wise planning, becomes strong through common sense, and profits wonderfully by keeping abreast of the facts." This is what every one of us need to understand, that dreams to come to pass must have a starting point. Everybody has dreams, but you can just sit around and dream and dream and dream and do nothing, but it has to have a starting point. I believe that what Dr. Ward said, I believe what Brother Kenneth Hagin said, that Faith is more than what you possess. It is what you do. And Dr. Ward would always say, your faith begins with action. And so for your dreams to come true, just like our forefathers 250 years ago, we're talking about George Washington and Patrick Henry and all of these people, their dream was to build a nation like you and I have enjoyed all these years. But the Bible teaches us something else that's very important to us. In Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 3 of the Living Bible, it says, a dream, whether ordinary or prophetic, comes to pass through a multitude, numerous abundance of business, occupations, tasks, and jobs. Every one of us have a choice. We can stay status quo. We can live our life on the bank. We can be debt free. We can be complaining the rest of our life, or we can have joy in our life. It's up to us. And the scriptures teaches us very clearly, and we'll get into this maybe in another program, but the decision for your dream to come true is up to you. It's up to you. You have to choose life or death. What are you going to choose? In the Old Testament, it talks about this in Deuteronomy. It talks about it in other scriptures in the Bible, that I set before you this day life and blessing, cursing, and so on. And he says, choose. So it's up to you to choose. If your dream is going to come true, you've got to do something. Just like our forefathers. Their dream came true because they did something. They were willing to put their neck on the chopping block, just so that they could have, and we could have, you and I today, 250 years later, we could have this wonderful thing called America. And so I'm encouraging you today in my short video that everybody has dreams. I can remember growing up on the farm 10 miles from town, and I would go up in the woods. I had a certain spot I'd go to, and I'd go up there and I'd just dream. I'd lay there on the ground, and sometimes my mother had bought me a little radio, transistor radio. When they first come out, they were about that big, and I'd sometimes take it with me, and wasn't anything on but AM station, and I'd listen to the radio and I'd dream about where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do in life. And so we all have those dreams, but it's so important for us to understand today that every dream has to have a beginning point. And that in our next program is what I want to talk to you about, that beginning point. And a lot of people don't like that, because David said in the Old Testament, I'm not going to offer God anything that doesn't cost me. And so he would not buy the land for the place to build the altar to sacrifice so the plague could be removed. And I don't know if he knew it or not, but later on, that very spot that he bought and wouldn't allow the guy to give it to him became the place where the Solomon's temple was built. But I'm saying to you today, you've got to start somewhere, and it's up to you. You have to choose. You're going to stay with the way you are, or you're going to choose to have your dreams come true. Have a nicer life, have more health. It's up to you. You choose. It's already done. God's already given it to us through the covenant, but you have to accept it. Father, I pray today for our viewers. I pray for these that are watching today, that this short message would inspire them, that they would do something, that they would have a beginning point for their dream to come true. Whatever their dream is, whether it's healing in their bodies, or a better home, or education for their children, or to be debt-free, whatever that dream would be. I pray for them today, Father, that they would sit down with their husband, their wife, sit down with you, Father, and talk about this and say, we've got to have a starting point for our dream to come true. God bless you today, folks. Love you, appreciate you so much. See you next time.